the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here bringing y'all this review to this newest Tory Lanez project called The New Toronto 3. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Tory is, he's a rapper slash kind of R&B singer, obviously coming out of Toronto, and he's been getting it going for the past few years now. Released quite a few tapes between the Shy Tape series and the New Toronto series, obviously. He's had some good projects, although none of them have been like consistently amazing. Mostly just a couple of standout songs and then a couple of skips or a couple of like, okay, those are good tracks. Maybe not skips, but not standouts either, you know. But here we're seeing if he can come up with anything different. So for starters, this one is 16 songs, about 44 minutes long, so it's not terribly long, although it is still a journey to get through here. And just like with a lot of the New Toronto series, this one has a lot more of rapping Tory than it does singing Tory, whereas Shy Tape obviously has more singing Tory. So here he's just going very hype on the tracks. He does have some singing tracks, of course, where he slows it down, but again, being that it is more rapping, he just brings out his hype style. And let me tell you, he is at his most toxic. Like, Future would be proud of this tape. It's just multiple lines about curbing exes, cheating on women. Even a line where he says, what was it? He says, lied to my girl so many times, I'm starting to believe it, or something like that. I just thought that was hilarious. We always support toxicity on this channel, so keep it up, Tory. But nah, overall, I'm pointing out a couple of my favorite songs, then a couple of negatives, give a little bit of an overall, kind of a normal review here. So first off, my favorites. Who Needs Love? By far the absolute best song on here. Has a little bit more of a slower vibe, a little bit more singing on here. Again, having the toxic traits, but again, this time just asking, why do you need love? Who needs love whenever you have all this materials, all this money, all these cars, clothes, chains, all of this stuff, whenever you're gonna get hurt whenever you fall in love anyways. So it's not exactly a message to live by, but I get the point. I know what he's saying. Whenever you go through love and you get hurt, why do you start thinking like, why do I need this whenever I have this other stuff that can make me happy, even if happiness isn't going to come from those. I just thought that was a great song, very enjoyable to listen to. Other than that, Penthouse Red is a really good song. Beautiful vocals. Again, more singing, more heartfelt vibes to it. I really enjoyed that. Letter to the City 2, of course, being a sequel to Letter to the City 1. It's him just reminiscing on his come up, his harsh past. He gets very introspective on this one. I really enjoyed that one. And again, it's a little bit more of a slower tone. Not as much singing as the other two that I've mentioned, but again, slower rapping, just a little bit more reminiscing, like I said. And then the last track, Message for God's Children. This one might be hit or miss for a lot of people, but I did like the message. Of course, he's sending a message of like, I'm saved by God, here's my gospel, I guess. But it's kind of funny to hear on this album, or mixtape, or whatever you want to call it, where he is showing his most toxic traits and then ending it talking about God. Not saying anything about his relationship with God or anything like that. I just thought that was funny. It's comical. Still really enjoy the idea of the track and really enjoy the track as a whole. It had a good vibe to it. And those are not the only tracks I enjoyed. Those are just the ones where I felt like I had to say something about them. Now as for the negatives, most of the songs on here sound the exact same, other than like the ones that I mentioned, especially early on in the album. The back half of this album is better than the front half. Like the first three songs, Pricey and Spicy, The Coldest Playboy, and Stupid Again. All three of those songs sound exactly the same. They're just very hype, not really much of a point to them other than bragging. It's just not much to them. Although I will say that I did enjoy the Conor McGregor intro to Stupid Again, where he just gets on and he's like, I just want to take this time to apologize to absolutely nobody. I thought that was funny. I loved that. But again, nothing really makes them stand out. On top of that, the lyricism on much of this project is nothing to brag about. It's just a couple of corny bars, a couple of like a bunch of just like average, like, oh, I've heard that before, oh, that's not really anything deep, bars like that. For one example, on the song "The Coldest Playboy," he says it's cat and mouse. Would this cheese call it ratatouille? I don't know. I mean, I get what he's going for, but to pick it apart and be extremely critical, Ratatouille was about rats, not mice. But either way, regardless, I get the point he's going for. It was just corny. But overall, this was a really fun project. Like, there's not many skips on here. Even if a lot of the songs blend together, they're still enjoyable. They're still fun to listen to. You still don't want to skip them. But yes, a lot of this project does just coast through on, okay, this is the same song, hearing it again, oh, here's a standout, here's a couple more minutes of the same stuff, oh, here's another standout. It's just like coast and enjoy, peak, coast and enjoy. Definitely has a lot of fun vibes. It's easy and fun to listen to whenever you're driving, whenever you're working out, stuff like that. There are some keepers, as I mentioned earlier, but overall, a lot of it just sounds the same. And the features don't really add much. Mansa is good. Singing a chorus earlier, but Lil TJ, the only other feature, he kind of sucked. That's all I have to say about that, really. I did enjoy this album a lot, but overall it doesn't impress much. It's not one that I'm going to go back to a lot aside from those songs. Or if I just feel like listening to music and not really paying attention to it, I guess I could see myself spinning this whole album again. So overall, this one, I got to go a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, just a few fun standouts, and then just enjoyability all throughout. Nothing to make it stand out. Not one that I'm probably going to come back to, but I added the songs I liked, and that's all I asked for. It was enjoyable. That being said, that's all I got for y'all. Kind of a short review. Not much to break down about this one. I mean, it's Tory Lanez, so kind of what I expected, although I enjoyed it. That's all I can say about that one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell next to my name for notifications. Make sure to share this video so everyone around you can hop on the train. I appreciate y'all, and I will hit y'all up next time.